Welcome to the first edition of the Morgans Edward Street Weekly Wrap after the Easter break. After US markets started the worst week since the Great Depression last week, this week has not been any less exciting. The US soap opera continues. Shortly before the market close on Monday, the New York Times reported the FBI seized documents from Michael Cohen's office, some of which are related to payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Markets immediately sold off. However, losses were paired thanks to signs that Trump may have softened his approach in a trade spat with China, and this lifted appetite for global equities across the board. Separately, US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross observed that the $50 billion in tariffs that China are talking about amounts to about 0.3% of US GDP, so it's hardly a life-threatening activity. Later in the week, major indexes came under pressure again in early trade after tweets from President Donald Trump suggested he was preparing for a military strike in Syria and underlined a tense relationship with Russia. Meanwhile, the uncertainty contributed to the day's rise in energy stocks. Crude oil rallied 2%, the highest level since late 2014, as the position tensions in the Middle East fed concerns over potential supply disruptions in the region. Back to our market, we were updated on the banking sector last week. Morgan's analyst Azib Khan reiterated his positive view on the major banks and thinks the risks from the Royal Commission are not material. Azib's base case is that the major banks will not have to raise capital and or cut their dividends. Azib also notes that the regulators may have to be mindful of the consequences of tightening responsible lending standards too aggressively, as it could adversely impact credit growth. Moreover, such a move by the regulators would likely hit the smaller lenders harder, which would go against the desire to improve the competitive landscape. Finally, we were recently joined by portfolio manager Vince Pezzullo from Perpetual Equity Limited, and to enforce our view, he said that time to be buying agricultural stocks like GrainCorp is not when it's raining but when there is a drought, and the time to be buying the major Australian banks is when there is a Royal Commission, i.e. right now. Please note that the comments in this video are general in nature, and please speak to your Edward Street advisor if you wish to know if any of the stock recommendations suit your personal needs and objectives. I'll now pass over to Cameron for his buy idea of the week. Cam?
Yeah, thanks, Brad. The stock I'll plug today is Aristocrat Leisure, ticker code ALL. Aristocrat is a leading gaming content developer with exposure in 90 countries around the world and is an ASX top 50 listed stock. Aristocrat has recently made significant acquisitions with Plarium and Big Fish, which will excel their digital offering. Due to the recent acquisitions, Morgans forecasts a sharp jump in recurring revenue to 75% in FY19, which should substantially lower the earnings volatility for the company. In addition, Aristocrat is expected to grow their digital revenue to more than 40% of the group's earnings, which gives them significant exposure for the fast-growing $25 billion US mobile and web games market. Aristocrat will continue to benefit from the recent tax cuts, with around half of their revenue being generated from North America. In addition, ALL will also remain a beneficiary to a lower Aussie dollar, which our analyst has assumed a 76-cent target against the greenback. Aristocrat has a proven track record of delivering on expectations and currently operates with earnings per share growth of 19%, a return of equity of 42%, whilst trading on FY18 PE of 23 times, which is expected to drop to 18 times in FY19. I think this is a suitable investment for growth-seeking investors taking a medium-term view. In support of this, Morgans recently initiated coverage with a $27.22 price target, which represents 16% upside to the current share price of $23.50. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Cam. Well, that's it for another wrap. Please feel free to share this video with your colleagues and friends, and make sure you like the Morgans Edward Street Stockbroking Facebook page. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Have a great weekend.